The second trend that is changing how we do organizational change management is that a lot of organizations are now moving to implementing agile change management from waterfall change management. So, the agile change management methodology that a lot of organizations are implementing is a four-phase methodology. The first phase is the discovery, and the second one is involves planning and also developing the change management plans and also strategies. And then phase three is implementation, and then phase four is where you normalize the new behaviors. This is a consistent approach for optimizing adoption for agile change management. The first phase involves doing things like ramping up on a project. So, as part of ramping up, you are meeting with the project team and the project managers to gather information about the project. You are conducting your target audience and stakeholder analysis. Who exactly are the groups or the individuals that will be impacted? You are doing your change impact assessment, where you are looking at for the different things that are changing, what is the severity of impact? Is it low? Is it mid? Is it high? You are assessing how ready is the organization. An organization, we are talking about the different groups that have been impacted. How ready are they for what is being implemented? You also want to do assessments for champions. If you run into situations where you know that a department that has been impacted is normally not receptive to change, or you know that you might run into a lot of resistance, then you want a more robust change champion network. So you have to assess what is the level of change champions needed for the different impacted groups. For some groups, it might be more, for some groups, it might be less. You also want to do your communication needs assessments. What is this? It's basically you have different impacted groups. Not every group needs to be communicated with the same way. Some groups, for example, sales, might need to be communicated more if, for example, you are implementing a CRM, or even if you are implementing an ERP, there are some groups that will need more communications more so than others. So you want to make sure you do your communication needs assessments. The same thing with training, right? Not every impacted group needs to be trained the same way. Some of them need more training than others. So you want to make sure you do your training needs assessments. And then, as part of discovery, you are rolling out your first round of awareness communications, where you let people know change is coming. Here is at a high level. Here's the roadmap of what people should expect over the next 4 weeks, over the next 8 weeks, over the next 12 weeks, at a high level. Okay, so that is discovery. Information from your change assessments will now be used to develop your change management strategic playbook. Your change management strategic playbook really outlines your strategies that you will be using for implementing your key change management deliverables. You will also be putting together your change management plan, so your communications plan. Here is where you go into details in regards to who are the groups you are going to be communicating with. When are you going to be communicating with them? Who's going to be sending the communication? What is the communication going to be talking about, right? So all of those key pieces of information goes into your change management plans, as well as your strategies go into your strategic playbook. And if you want coaching, for all of these things, I know it's going to be a lot that I am going to be discussing with you. The link is below. Okay. And depending on the project, You might also need to put together a training plan, a training curriculum, training materials. You might also need to put together a stakeholder management plan. You might also need to put together a change champion network plan, right? So there are multiple types of plans you have to put together during the planning and development phase. The next phase is the implementation phase. This is really where you now start to deliver a lot of your communications, right? So get ready communications to get people prepared for go live. Those series of communications can be going out, sending out training invitations and doing the training sessions will also happen under implement. This is also when you do roadshows. You engage with employees and managers to have interactive sessions with them so they can ask questions, and you can also do quick demos of what the changes will be. As I mentioned, you're also doing training, you're sending out FAQs, you're providing guides for people, you are mitigating resistance, you are leveraging your change champion network to talk to their colleagues and help increase receptiveness to the change. You are conducting UAT support, and you are also celebrating successes. And then the fourth phase is really where you normalize the changes, the new behavior. You deliver your go live communication. You also continue to provide post go live communications. You want to ensure that you are doing office hours and support sessions. For example, you can schedule 30 minutes or 1 hour sessions 3 times during the week of go live, and you send out invites to people and you say, anyone that has any questions, you can join the call. Anyone that would like help, you can join the call. Also, let people know they don't have to wait for office hours or support calls. If they need help, they can reach out via email. They can reach out via Teams. They can reach out via Zoom. They can reach out through different ways. They don't have to wait until the day of the office hours of the support calls. You also want to ensure you are following up with people, see if anyone needs help. You're tracking adoption successes, and you are most importantly integrating lessons learned. Once again, you want to celebrate successes, and then you want to transition change management from that particular iterative phase of the long term transformation. So, this is really how you implement agile change management that is really centered around key pieces of a longer term transformation. Traditional step by step change management models still offer value, but organizations really now operate in an environment of continuous transformation. What this has done is it has given rise to agile change management, which is really being flexible, responsive, and iterative. So instead of a big bang rollout, agile change management embraces smaller increment changes. So that's one key thing for you to keep in mind. So, why is this happening? Why are a lot of organizations now moving to agile change management? The accelerated pace of technology adoption. So, think AI, think automation, think digital transformation. All of these rapid technology changes, they really demand a more flexible approach to change. And that's the key reason why organizations realize they need to move to an agile change management approach. The question then becomes, what does that really mean for you? It means that any change management toolkit or approach you are using has to go beyond communication and training plans. it has to include data analytics for change. You will need to interpret dashboards, understand sentiment analysis, and use this data to tailor your change management approach, as well as socializing your findings to get leadership buy-in. As more and more organizations are transitioning to agile change management, your job is less about following a rigid change management framework, but rather to be flexible with shifting priorities. Here is an example. So, this is the OCM solution software. And let us assume we all together, we are doing change management for a particular project. And we did an assessment of the sponsors, and we realized that there are two critical sponsors. Critical sponsors are people that are within an organization and are critical to the success of a particular change. For example, let's say the project is impacting the sales department. And if the VP of sales is not bought into the change, she can derail the entire project. In that case, that VP of sales will be considered a critical sponsor. She might or she might not be the primary sponsor. So let's say the primary sponsors are from IT, but they're just impacting sales, right? So in that case, we identify the sales VP as a critical sponsor. What if legal was also being impacted? And there is a senior director that is outspoken in the legal department. And we understand that if that particular senior director is not bought in to this project, they can derail the entire success. We consider them a critical sponsor. Now, with this example we are looking at here on my screen, out of the two critical sponsors, one of them has a low level of she's not enthusiastic about the project. She doesn't feel the project is needed. She doesn't feel this is the right time. So she has a low receptiveness to the project. With this particular picture, irrespective of what our change management plans are, we want to ensure that we are flexible enough to engage this particular VP of sales to move her from a low level receptiveness to a higher level receptiveness. There are multiple ways to do that. We can engage with the primary sponsors to say, hey, we have a situation, the VP of sales is not receptive, she might be resisting, she can derail this project. We need your help as primary sponsors to go engage with her, identify her concerns, let's address that, and let's have her bought into this change. It could also involve leadership change agents that we can engage to say, we need your help to engage with this VP of sales who's pretty much resisting this change and help transition her from resisting to being more receptive. This is an example of even when you have your change strategies and change plans, they have to be flexible. You have to be able to pivot based on situations you're experiencing. The third trend we've identified is that organizations, especially leadership, are beginning to realize the value of a human-centered approach. And this one will have an impact on your role as a change practitioner. Watch the next video for more details.